Hi guys, what are the disadvantages of laser hair removal? So if you're curious about laser hair removal and you would like to get my honest opinion about it, keep on watching. I am Madame Cassie, I'm the owner of Sparkle Lifestyle in MediSpa, and I'm also a clinical trainer. So if you're interested in the medical aesthetic world, technologies, and all that, please consider subscribing because this is what this channel is all about. I also have a channel about skincare. I'll make sure to put the link below. But today I'm really answering all your question about laser hair removal, what to expect, what you should be looking for. And this question is all about the side effect, or maybe what's not that nice about it. The big thing about laser hair removal, you need to understand that it will make your skin sensitive to the sun. And I mean by that it's really important that you're not being exposed to the sun about 4 weeks prior to your appointment, and even 4 weeks after. Depending on the technology used, some technology may be more high risk than others. I heard some people saying that, oh, you can have a tan, or it doesn't matter as long as like 4 days. You need to understand how your skin works. So when you're going to the sun, your melanocytes, that the melanocytes are what create that brown pigment, and it's to protect your skin, right? So they get stimulated when you go to the sun, and it takes about 10 days for those melanocytes to completely get back to their natural state. So if they're already excited because you went outside or in the sun, what happened when you do have laser, because laser is a light, it will kind of trigger your melanocyte, and there's higher risk of burn. And that's the big reason. If you look into a laser, maybe and diag, sometimes we can kind of say, oh, well, 2 weeks, 10 days is the time of melanocyte. Sometimes, um, you know, uh, after 2 weeks, after a sun exposure, you're good to go. It's true, but that's, at the same time, you should really be mindful. And the big reason why they're saying that an NDIAG laser, you can, only wait 2 weeks, it's because the NDIAG lasers are not attracted necessarily to the pigment on your skin, but only to the vascular part that feeds your hair follicles. So that's why NDIAG lasers, sometimes it can be only 2 weeks before, 2 weeks after, but the results are always better, the lighter your skin is. So I would still recommend waiting a good 4 weeks before and after, because if you've been in the sun for 2 weeks before, we will have to use the NDIAG here at Sparkle. And the NDIAG first doesn't work as well as the alexandrite, and it hurts a little bit more. So see, those are advantage or disadvantage, I would say, that having from laser treatment. So if you want the best case scenario, you should definitely wait 4 weeks prior and after. If you have always if your skin type is darker, that's where we will always use the NDIAG laser on your skin type. So that's a big disadvantage when it comes to laser hair removal, that you really need to pay attention to the sun exposure. So area like your Brazilian or even underarms, not too bad, but when it comes to your face, it's really important that you're using the right sunblock. And I would seriously consider a zinc oxide of at least 8%, because that's the only way that you have that perfect coverage, and you should reapply your sunblock every 2 hours when you are exposed to the sun. So I would say that laser hair removal is like, I should say that sun exposure is the big disadvantage of laser hair removal, because you need to really be careful. Another one is that you can't wax in between your appointment. You can't wax, you can't plug. You need to only cut or shave. For some people, it's a little bit challenging. I personally don't really see a difference because each time that you're going to come to get your laser done, the hair gets thinner and lighter. So it's not like as big of a struggle than between. And you don't need to let it grow super long. You can just shave it as often as you want, and your hair will not get worse. Seriously, like because each laser treatment makes your hair so much thinner and lighter. So I would not worry that. A disadvantage, I mean, it's quite expensive. I mean, it can be a little bit pricey if you compare it to all the time and the money that you would spend getting wax. It's not too bad on the long run. The short run, yeah, it could be expensive. I mean, laser hair removal could be anywhere from $100 to like $400-500 a session, depending on the area, how much, and you need a series of treatment, right? So we are using the Gentle Max Pro here. It's a true medical grade laser. We have an Alexandrite and Diag. So it could be anywhere from 4 to 8 sessions to remove the big bulk of your hair. When you get into an IPL or diode, you're usually between 10 and 15 treatment for the same type of result. So it's something that you need to be mindful. You need to pay attention. It's a lot of money, and the time between the appointment of laser hair removal is really important. Your technician will tell you when to come next, but it could be anywhere from 4 to 12 weeks apart. And that time is really important if you really want to maximize your results. So you need to kind of, you need to be ready to invest in laser hair removal, because if you start missing your appointment because maybe you don't have the money, you don't have time, the results will be affected. So just be mindful of that. Other disadvantage, I mean, there's always a risk. I mean, there's a risk with everything. Risk inside of it, I mean, burn, sensitivity, irritation, things like that. They're usually related to sun exposure or not telling your technician that you've been in the sun. That's usually where I see. Or an IPL have definitely higher risk of burn and adverse effects. So make sure that you choose a good technology, like a good device. I would also say that technology and experience and device really matters when it comes to laser hair removal. They're not created equal, and I think that's where I see the most adverse effect, burn, or people maybe that invested a lot of money and didn't even get the result that you're looking for. So make sure that you ask questions to your provider, like what type of device they've been using, the experience that they have, is there a guarantee there, or ask question, because all technologies are not created equal. Make sure that you invest in a true medical grade lasers, or there's at least a diode laser that offer really good results. But when it comes to IPL will maybe reduce the growth, slow it down, but you can't expect like a permanent results when it comes to IPL. Sadly, they're not powerful enough, and if they're powerful enough, the risk of burn is definitely there. So make sure that you do your research carefully. So if you have any question about laser hair removal, please comment below. I also have a Facebook group where I love reading your question. That's where I answer them all. That's where I get my ideas. So make sure that you check that out. Check out the other channel about skincare, and can't wait to see you. So have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.